Welcome to another number video. We're going to talk about exchange rates. An exchange rate is a rate that compares two different currencies or money from two different countries. To solve exchange rate problems, the strategy we're going to teach you in this video is to either multiply or divide one currency by the exchange rate to get the amount of the second currency. Right, straight into example one. So Louis is traveling from New Zealand to Australia. He's got 800 New Zealand dollars, which has abbreviated as NZD, to spend in Australia. When he checks out the exchange rate on the 9th of October 2019, the exchange rate was 1 New Zealand dollar to 0.9356 Australian dollars, which has the abbreviated symbol AUD. So think of it like 1 New Zealand dollar is equivalent to 93 cents in Australia. So first thing, we're going to convert 800 New Zealand dollars into Australian dollars. So I'm going to do both a times and a divide and use my calculator to get two possible answers, and then I'm going to work out which I think is the correct one. To do that, I'm going to come back up here and say, look, 1 New Zealand dollar is about 93 cents in Australian money. So if I have a dollar in New Zealand, I have less Australian money. So therefore, this must be my correct answer, because if I have 800 New Zealand dollars, I have a slightly less Australian money. So we get rid of the second answer, and we can say that $800 is equivalent to $748.48 in Australian money. Right, part B. He brings home 243 Australian dollars with him. We're going to convert 243 Australian dollars back into New Zealand dollars. Well, once again, I'm going to do a times and a divide by the exchange rate. So 243 times and divide by 0.9356. Grab my calculator and work out both answers. Now I'm going to work out which is the correct one. So here's my exchange rate once again, and I know that if I have 1 New Zealand dollar, I have slightly less Australian money. If I have some Australian money, that means I would have a little bit more New Zealand money. So in this example, this is the correct calculation, and I'm going to ditch off that answer, because if I have some Australian money, I have some slightly more New Zealand money. So $243 in Australian money is equivalent to $259.73 in New Zealand dollars. All right, number two, Miles moving from India to New Zealand. He saved up and bringing with her 125,000 Indian rupee, which is abbreviated to INR. On the 9th of October, she checks out the exchange rate, and 1 New Zealand dollar is equivalent to 44.85 Indian rupee. So think of it like 1 New Zealand dollar is equivalent to $44.85 in India. So we're going to convert 125,000 Indian rupee into New Zealand dollars. So once again, I times and divide by the exchange rate, work out the answer on my calculator to get two possible answers. Go back to this exchange rate, thinking it like 1 New Zealand dollar is about 44 Indian dollars. So if you have $1 in New Zealand, you have a lot more Indian money. So if you have lots of Indian money, you have a lot less New Zealand money. So therefore, if you have 125,000 Indian rupee, you have a lot less New Zealand money. So it must be this answer here. 125,000 Indian rupee is only equivalent to $2,787.07 in New Zealand. Right, part B. Your uncle lives in New Zealand, gives her a gift of 2,300 New Zealand dollars. How much is this in Indian rupee? So once again, here are my two possible answers. And I go back up here. If I have 1 New Zealand dollar, I have a lot more Indian rupee. So therefore, if I have 2,300 New Zealand dollars, I will have a lot more Indian rupee, which is 103,155 Indian rupee. Thanks for watching.